Back with another vlog for you after Iowa's win against Arkansas State from Saturday. Wasn't impressive on the scoreboard, but a lot of us wondered if there might be a letdown. I was feeling that way early in the week last week, but I talked myself into feeling that Iowa would cover that 21-point spread based on what I had heard about Iowa practicing better in the week. They started out very fast. Rick Stanzi, I think he was 5 for his first 5, 2 touchdown passes very early on, and Iowa was definitely in business and dealing early. But I think that Iowa may look back on this and feel like they went to their running game to set up their play-action game, which they normally do in Big Ten football games. Don't know that they needed to do that in this particular game because Arkansas State's pass defense just isn't very good, and I think Iowa would have had their way with them. Rick Stanzi was 18 of 26, 295-ish yards for the day, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Unfortunately, one of those was a pick 6. If Rick's going to make mistakes, and he will, he needs to make them on the other side of the 50 and not for pick 6s. Just can't do that. This offense is beginning to remind me of a 2003 type season. That offense averaged 24.75 points per game in Big Ten play. The defense gave up 22 points per game that year in Big Ten play, which was somewhat surprising to me, but that was one of the top 15 scoring defenses in the country that year. I think this year's defense is better than the 2003 defense. It's definitely more opportunistic. Iowa with 14 turnovers through 5 games. That is a great, great pace for the season to establish a new Ferentz-era record at the University of Iowa. Iowa moved up in all the polls, the coaches, the AP, and the Harris poll, with the exception of the computer polls because their strength of schedule took a hit. Iowa now number, I believe, 11 in the Associated Press poll, up to 14th in the coaches poll, and I believe 12th in the Harris poll after a loss. Interesting, earlier this year, Iowa beat a much better UNI football team by 1, and they dropped out of sight from the polls. Oh well, that just goes to talk about the polls a little bit more. Let's not waste any more time with that. Michigan comes to town this weekend, and the University of Iowa is a 7.5-point early favorite. I think here's the key. Tackle cleanly. Tackle cleanly, and Iowa wins the game. Other than that, I don't think that Michigan is going to put together long drives. If you tackle cleanly, and of course, obviously, you don't want to give up the big play, Iowa is going to win this football game. It is a blackout game. I'm a fan of the gold, but I understand. Iowa looked at the fans in the stands last week and noticed that most people's colder weather gear was black, and they don't want to have people have to go out and feel like the need to buy warmer weather gold gear, so I understand that. So some people were upset about that. They had a poll, and gold was the overwhelming winner. Gold was nice on September 30th of 06 when the weather was phenomenal. It's not looking phenomenal this weekend. It's looking high 30s. So I give the Iowa Sports Marketing Department an understandable nod on this one. We'll have updates for you later this week. I think Tony Moeaki will play this week. I think Sean Prater will play this week, and he certainly was missed last week. Brian Bulaga back. This could be the most healthy Iowa team that's taken the field all season as Michigan rolls to town. Iowa hasn't started 6-0 since 1985.